何してる? Oh my god, Leute! How everyone? Heito, thank you so much for coming by. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. My internet is choppy. My internet is choppy lately. I hope it plays nice during the stream, but well, you can never be sure. You can never be sure. Ne, I just did it. It's playing nice. Yeah, we'll see for how long. We'll see for how long. I feel accomplished. I feel accomplished. Maybe one day I will be able to be a housewife without accidentally poisoning the person who's unfortunate enough to marry me. No, don't put the buffering emoji. No! 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 Are we here? Am I here? Am I here? Kikoe. Kikoemasu? Oh, hi, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Ma, we're back, Yokota. I'm glad. But yeah, we made the omurice. I made it with my cousin. Some things may have gone wrong along the way. So first of all, I realized only when we started making it that the recipe required chicken and peas. So I was like, actual nutrition in the dish? Overrated. Overrated. We run exclusively on rice, egg, and ketchup here. I know. So it's okay. I substituted the peas with green onion, spring onion. Yeah. I know. And it went pretty fine. Like we tried to saute the onion. We put in the ketchup and some soy sauce, and the sauce was good. And then we tried to make the rice. So I told my cousin, hey, you set a timer for 10 minutes, okay? That's how long the rice needs to cook on this level of heat, right? And my cousin goes like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then we just sit down and like scroll our phones for a while, and like I'm cleaning up part of the kitchen, I'm putting some stuff in the dishwasher, drinking some cola, and then at one point I go like, wait, these 10 minutes are feeling kind of long. And I'm like, hey, do you think the 10 minutes are up yet? What's the timer at? And my cousin shows me the timer. And it's like, no, it's not up yet. And I'm like, the timer... Oh my god, wait, did we die again? Gomen. I'll wait with telling my story until everyone can hear me. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Okay, I'm fine. Okay. Yeah, but then I look at the timer, and the timer says 9 hours and 40 minutes, and I'm like, you didn't set a 10-minute timer. Yeah, so long story short, the rice was a little burned to the pot. But it's okay. It was only, I mean, we managed to scrape some rice from the middle that was not burned. It had a bit of smoky flavor, but that's okay. Yeah, honestly, I should invest in a rice cooker. I should. But yeah. So that was the thing that happened. It's okay that we managed to get some salvageable rice that only had a little bit of smoky flavor. Man? What do you mean, man? I am not a man. unsurprisingly enough. Nemo, my respect for forgetting it for 9 hours. No, we didn't forget it for 9 hours. My cousin set a 10-hour timer instead of 10 minutes. So after 20 minutes, I was like, wait, aren't the 10 minutes over? And we checked the timer, and the timer had 9 hours and 40 minutes left on it. So we accidentally let it cook for 20 minutes instead of 10. You are Miguel? Miguel. Ma. Welcome Robert, thank you so much for coming by. So then we got the rice, and we mixed it with the sauce. And it looked very promising. And then came the part of actually making the omelette. And as you can probably tell by the picture, it did not end up looking quite so aesthetic. The taste was fine. Honestly, but yeah, it looked really ugly. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, at least, you know, if I draw a cute face on it, it'll fix it. But then, like, I got the ketchup bottle and I held it over the omelette and I was like, okay, just gonna exert a little bit of pressure to get, like, a nice small line. Okay, nothing's coming out. A little bit more pressure. Okay, nothing's coming out. I guess I gotta squeeze it, and then it went. It went. And I was like, So when can we order it from Kawa? You mean when can you order Iris homemade omurice from Kawa? It tasted fine. Some of the rice was still a little bit smoky flavor, but but aside from that, it was actually quite good. So for my first try, it was not that bad. Honestly, my expectations were more than met, considering that I didn't think I could make something that was remotely edible, and this was definitely edible. Yeah. I'm trying to order Ari's homemade cooking. I don't know if they could get it to you fast enough for it not to be rotten. What's this about smoke-flavored rice? The rice may have burned a little bit, yeah. Ma. But aside from slightly smoky flavor, I think it went pretty well. I just gotta try more. And surprisingly, I found out that I quite enjoy cooking with my cousin. I suggested that tomorrow we should try making onigiri. Cause we still have rice. We still have a lot of rice. Yeah. Could do a cafe event at a con and have special burnt omurice named Iri Smoky Homemade Rice. Yeah, that should be like a food challenge. Like, I'll give the people at the con like a instruction video on how I prepare the food, and anyone who can finish an entire plate, they like win a reward or something. But you need to specify finish an entire plate without throwing it up. Yeah, we'll need to buy seaweed and stuff. No, I actually have some. My mama was really certain she was gonna get into making sushi, so she bought a ton of seaweed leaves and like those mats to roll them up. And she never made sushi, so just one plate. Watch me finish at least 4. Oh, Donnie, I don't know if that's good for the health. I think you might die if you do that. Got a package delivered today. The plushie is adorable, by the way. Also love the cap. Yay! I'm so glad that everyone's getting their stuff. Yokata! Yokata! I'll eat ashes like it's the finest food I've ever had. Oh, wow. Amazing. But, I think since my cousin is still here for like a month about, we can probably try to learn to cook better. Yeah, we can probably learn to try to cook better. Try to learn to cook better. Yeah. Also, thank you, Marisu. Arigato ne. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Viridevils. It's called the Viridevils. Don't let them tell you otherwise. I looked over at my ID plush and remembered how stupid I am. Huh? What caused this emotion, huh? Did the ID plush say that? Did it say that to you? But yeah, I'll let you know tomorrow how the onigiri goes. I've gotta learn how to cook because one day when I live on my own, I will not be able to feed myself. Did you manage to call the bank today? No. They did not pick up. Or, well, rather, they picked up, but I got the AI answer machine, and the AI answer machine hung up on me. And nothing makes me angrier than getting hung up on by an AI answering machine. How dare you? How dare you? You're not even a person. You're not even a person. Yeah. Well, it's because I posted on Twitter and wrote "airi shiteru" instead of "airiri shiteru." Oh god. Almost died. Sorry. Let me try to find it. Yeah. I think when I first started my channel, "airi shiteru" was taken. So I just took "airiri shiteru." Ah, it's so cute. Wow, you gave her a gun. Nice. Nice. I like also sitting in the gaming chair. Very cool. That is my chair now. Don't you ever dare sit in it again. It's my chair. Yeah. What did you even say to the AI that he hang up? No, it's just like, oh, like literally I press call, right? And the AI picks up and it's like, oh, hello. Unfortunately, we currently have a high volume of calls. Please try calling again later. And then it hangs up. And then I call again and it was like, hi, currently we have a high number of calls. Please try calling in later. And it hangs up. But I tried this yesterday and today for multiple hours and then... So mad. So mad. When I actually get through to a human one day, they will feel fire and brimstone on them. High volume of calls. How much do you want to bet that everyone is calling for the same thing? Probably a lot. Probably, yeah. I think that's what's likely happening. Yeah. I have not seen my bank account in 7 days. For all I know, it could be empty. Were you calling MasterCard or Visa? No, it's my bank. It's not my credit card, it's my bank. It's my bank. Yeah. But yeah. It's, I hope I still have money in my bank. I hope no one raided my account while I couldn't look at it. Yeah. It's giving me a lot of anxiety. What issue with your bank? They switched to new online banking and I can't log in. I cannot log in. Yeah. It's real bad, ladies and gentlemen. Hontoni, it's so real bad. Yeah. Yeah. Nah, but, yeah. Yeah, it's just, I just have to try again tomorrow. Honestly, these last few days have been really stressful. It feels like everyone wants something from me, but Airi does not have brain to give. You know, it's like first of all, I've got the thing with the bank that I really desperately need to take care of, so I'm probably gonna spend some hours trying to deal with that again tomorrow. And then I also need to finish my paper that's due on Thursday. So in 2 days. And I haven't really started on it, so I should probably work on it after stream today. I also need to get started on my driver's license. There's still some stuff for content I need to do. And I'm also in charge of like setting up the panel for Vexpo. So, honestly, These recent days, I've been like so stressed that I start just like clenching my teeth. Both in my sleep and just like while I'm working or focusing. It is not good. It is not good. Driver's license theory questions answering stream 1. Honestly, I should do a practicing for driver's license. Practicing for driver's license. Ne. A stream. Euro truck stream when? Yeah. But I gotta do that, and then I really need to finish my paper, and I've also gotta take care of some stuff for my taxes. There's not enough ID for all the things that need to be ID'd. Too much things, too little ID. Not enough ID, too furious. And my term paper is due in 2 days and 33 minutes. Oh! Also, welcome Niga. Thank you for... Wait, oh. May the Lord forgive me, for I am just a friendly person who tried to say hi to a person in chat. Anyhow. I know. Arigato ne. Thank you, Six. So I started playing Dead by Daylight, and the US queues for survivors are insanely long. To the point that killers get 2.5 times blood point bonuses the entire day. I'm now Silver 3. Already? Exclusively playing Ghostface. Been called a weirdo 5 times for stalking survivors. ID, do you want to add saving the world to your to-do list too? I don't know, guys. I don't know whether I've got time. You know, maybe Dormammu can just have the world. Let's just... I think it's okay. That timer on your paper is kind of scary. A little bit. But at least for this one, I think I only have to write like 4,000 words, which that is easy. 4,000 words, I can knock those out like... Well, if it was 4,000 words of just anything, I could knock those out in 2 hours. But... since it's, you know, words that are supposed to make sense, I suppose it'll take me like a day. Hey, how long was my other paper? How many words was my other paper? I wanna check. I wanna check my other glorious paper that got me such a good grade. Wow. Oh, wait. I know. Also, thank you, Sixito. Also, new patch for Dead by Daylight dropped today. Yeah, I saw. I tried to update my game, but my internet is horrible right now. My internet is horrible right now. And it said it would take like 2 hours to download, and I was like, no, thank you. Oh, right. That reminds me. I have to go fight the telecom. Again, because I checked my... Because I saw that, like, download time on the Dead by Daylight update. 2 hours, and I was like, what? What? So... I... went to, like, do internet speed test, and it showed that my download speed was, like, 5. I was like, what? Since when is it 5? Yeah, it used to be 50, now it's 5. 5 Mbit per second. Yeah. So, yeah. 5 what? 5 Mbit per second. Mbps. Nah. Someone have to call the telecom and be like, screw you. Nah. And the new fog vial item, which my friends call it fart cloud. I did see that in someone's playtest of the game, because it's honestly really useless. You just spray smoke and pray the killer doesn't have eyes, because obscured is not invisible. I see. Whose internet are you using? My internet! It's supposed to be my internet! 5 Mbit per second. Yeah, there must be something wrong with the download line, cause like my upload speed is surprisingly fine, if not a bit inconsistent. Oh. There was a bang sound outside. I will choose to believe that it was a firework. One singular firework. I will choose to believe that. Yeah. Maybe because they're working on the line. I don't know about that. I haven't seen them working on it the last few days. Maybe Arimama watching lots of K-drama? Shouldn't be the case. She's always watching K-drama. Usually my internet is fine. My upload is fine. Nee. A car backfiring? Not sure what it is. I'm not gonna check. You're not in America, I'm sure it's fine. Well, you think that, but my neighbor once shot a pigeon. With a gun. And like, the pigeon fell right into our yard. So I'm like, wait, couldn't the bullet have missed and went through our fence and hit me, maybe? Yeah. Have they said anything about improving your internet at any point? No. No. Was it a loud crack or a lower boom type? It sounded like a firework, kind of. Well, our neighbor did the same. Nah, that pigeon must have been really annoying. I don't think he did anything wrong. But, like, I was just chilling in the garden with my dog, right? And then suddenly I hear a bang. I hear the shot. And then the pigeon, like, hopped over the fence into our garden. And it was like struggling on the floor, and my dog immediately pounced on it, and I was like, no! And you know, it's like one of those medieval paintings of like a knight like wrangling a lion. That's how I felt, because the dog was on the pigeon, I was on the dog. And I tried to keep him from eating it. All the while yelling, Max, no, déjalo. I know, and eventually he let the pigeon go, and I was like, oh my god. And the pigeon like hopped away, injured, bleeding everywhere. And I was like, oh god, what do I do? And so I tried to get gloves to like pick up the pigeon, because I'm not gonna pick up a bloody pigeon with my bare hands. That is like the #1 way to get all the diseases. So I looked for like garden gloves to like, I don't know, like either pick it up and put it in a box, or like pick it up and put it outside. And so, you know, I was trying to do that. I was trying to grab the pigeon, and then I look away for a second, and like I kept calling out for my mama, like, Mama, get the dog inside, Mama, get the dog inside, Mama! Because she was just like watching from the window. I was like, Mama, get the dog inside. And so I tried to catch the pigeon, but then I look away for a moment, and the dog is on the pigeon again. And I was like, Mama, I told you to get the dog inside. And she was like, well, I didn't want to get him inside. And I was like, ah! Well, I was trying to fight him off of the pigeon again, ×2. The second time. There was feathers and blood everywhere. I know. Then my mama came outside, and then my grandma came outside. And then my mama called the neighbors to see what we should do with the injured pigeon in our garden, because like it wasn't dead, he was just kind of sitting there. No, the pigeon was fine. I know. Like, I mean, he wasn't fine. His wing was very injured and he was bleeding, but he was just sitting there. He wasn't dead. So my mama called the neighbors to see what we should do. The neighbors said to call a bird sanctuary. It was evening. It was late evening. So, I mean, where were we gonna call a bird sanctuary? And then the pigeon got a sudden burst of adrenaline and it just waddled away through our fence. And that was that. Oh my gosh. What the hell is wrong with your neighbor? That's what I'd like to know. That's what I'd like to know. I wonder what they must have thought after they just shot that pigeon and they immediately heard screaming from the neighboring lot. They immediately heard like, no, let go, Maxie, no! Yeah. It's probably dead by now, I think so too. But, hopefully a cat got it. Hopefully a cat got a nice meal out of it, maybe. And it didn't die in our yard, so I didn't have to clean it up, so that's good. You can't just shoot a gun for no reason, what the heck? Yep. But oh well, I don't think I could have proved it, cause, you know, the evidence kinda sorta walked away. Nah. So I don't think I could have proved that he shot the gun. Nah. Also, another story is that recently my grandma had a statue. Wait, I told you that story. I told you that story about how my grandma had a statue stolen from her backyard. That was weird. Who'd go into a random old lady's backyard to steal a statue? It's so weird. But yeah, that and the neighbor thing. And another thing which I don't know if I told you about that at the time, but in the past, my grandma's car got vandalized. Wasn't it a garden gnome? No, it was like a angel statue. It was like a statue, not a gnome. Nemo, my grandma's car got vandalized at some point, and we think we know who did it, but we don't have a camera, so we couldn't prove it. Because, so my mama has a friend, like this friend was a friend of my father's, right? He was a friend of my father's, it's like a middle-aged guy, and sometimes, like, you know, he still stayed friends with my mom, and sometimes he comes by to like fix stuff around the house for us, cause we can't do it. You know, and that guy went through like a really messy divorce. Like, such a messy divorce that they fought in court for like 4 years. 4 years about who would get the house. Right. And then one time, the ex-wife of the guy, she drove by our street and she saw the man talking to my grandma. She saw him talking to my grandma, but like my grandma was turned away, so you couldn't see her face, so you couldn't see that she is an old woman. And so later that day, or well, that night, my grandma's car got vandalized. So we think that the weird divorce lady probably thought that my grandma was that guy's new girlfriend, and then went to vandalize her car without knowing that it's my 78-year-old grandma. Nah. So that's what I think happened. That's what we suspect happened. We didn't have a camera, so we can't prove it. Yeah. What's wrong with that woman? Yeah, she's crazy from what I've heard. Grandma got game. Wait, 78 and grandma still drives? Yeah, well she's turning 7. Oh, she turned 78 this year. Oh no, my grandma. Yeah, she does still drive at 78. And she drives rather well. My grandma has never been in a singular accident. Well, at least not like a accident that she was at fault for. Nah. Yeah. On the bright side, Ari grandma looks like a foxy younger woman from certain angles. Arigato. The place where you live sounds kind of crazy. Oh, it is. It is. Very much it is. I mean, you've just got Tsukalifa Koifa on the train, talking about their recent Tsukali sales. Thank you, Anima. Whoa, who's this neighbor of yours that's making moves on my fiance, Arimama? No, not on Arimama, on Arigrandma. Well, no one's making moves. Wait, that was the misunderstanding. Yeah, but Anone. My half-brother's grandpa drove till he was 101 years old. Oh, gee. Well, that's long. That's long. Tsukali handler on the train is kind of normal. Well, yeah, but they were talking about it like so brazenly. They were like, yeah, and today I sold this much and I got this much with me right now. And this guy, his gang, they want to start beef, but I got people who can kill him. And I was like, this is not polite society. Yeah, God. I know, some people, Hontoni, sometimes it feels like we're not the same species. Like, how can people's lives be so difficult? Do you know what? I'm scared to say it. Is it gonna end up being a pun? Does Grandma drive fast on the autobahn? Well, she drives like reasonably. Around 100 or 120. Yeah, sometimes it's so crazy. Like, how can people... Garmin is a GPS maker. Oh, okay. I was scared to read it out. Because I thought it was gonna be like, oh... There's a meme going on where it says, oh... I was just scared it was gonna be like, oh... Okay, Garmin, Videosprechen. I have not seen that name. I have not seen that meme. Wow. I'm sick right now, but that makes your voice even better to listen to. I know. Please get better soon. What is that in freedom units? I don't know. Do I look like an American? Ma. But yeah. So that reason is probably why I want to get a security camera. And I think it can also deter theft. Yeah. But yeah, honestly, when I go on the train, I'm like, how are these people real? Cause I mean, I see these kinds of people almost every day, but like, how do you live like that? How do you just do all that stuff and not feel bad about it? Like, just seeing people make an absolute mess of the train, leaving like trash and food and stuff everywhere, and like spilling alcohol or drinks on the ground. Meanwhile, like, I wouldn't even like put a wrapper somewhere if there wasn't a trash can. I'd rather carry a wrapper in my hand for 3 hours than to leave it on the ground somewhere. Ma, your entire side of Germany sounds kind of like, well, yeah, it might be. It might be a little bit bad here. But it wasn't like that. When I was younger. Of course, it wasn't perfect. But for example, the city that I grew up in, it was way better and way safer before. It was so much safer before. And now, even my mama is like, well, now it's ugly. Good thing we moved away, because now it's ugly. Everything is full of trash. Yeah, 네, Aziz, yeah. Yeah, so I'm glad that we live in a rural area now, because at least it's a little bit safer here. But yeah, I miss the times when the streets were not completely filled with trash. And I did not have to be worried about, like, taking stab-proof vest, taking taser, taking pepper spray, you know? Yeah... Yeah, that's why I moved to the boonies myself. 3 knife attacks in 2 months in my old apartment building. In one apartment building? In one building? Oh my god. Oh my god. Did you ever buy that vest? No, I didn't. I'm not sure whether I found a good option. But I might look into it before my upcoming university semester. When I need to be on the train again every single day. Have you seen people making a scene in trains before? Yeah, all kinds of scenes, really. I overheard some like funny, insane conversations of like a guy very passionately explaining to another guy that like humans were encapsulated in ice. And then because of the ice, our skin colors changed, and now there's people with different skin colors because every human was encased in ice 500 years ago. And I was like, what? What does that even mean? I know. Well, what the? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was just sitting there making like the huh expression. Cause like, you know, conspiracy theories or like those kind of like, oh, humans were created this way theories, like that's one thing, but this one didn't even make sense. This one did not even make sense. Nah. Also, welcome Freighter Seeker. ID is very cute. I just unboxed my common merch. And I suddenly loved it. D6s. Oh, yokata. Made roll you very good fireballs. Ne. Das ist nicht mal ein Aluhut wert. Yeah, and of course, there was a guy during the pandemic that was like going around the train being crazy and like yelling at children. He was yelling at children. He was calling everyone Schlafschafe. He was calling every single person Schlafschafe. But like rather than yelling at other adult men, right? He started yelling at like children. And like it was like school children. So like, I don't know, if you got a problem with society, why are you yelling at the school children? Like, not university children, like school children. Why was he yelling at them? I guess he wasn't brave enough to yell at adults, huh? The problem was that I looked pretty young, so he yelled at me too. I think he probably thought I was like a young school child too. Yeah, and then I was like, well, this is not good. This is not safe. Yeah, the adults just sat there, yeah. And at one point, I moved in front of like 2 children that were being yelled at by him, and I was like, sir, please mind your own business. Please leave them alone. Like what they're doing is none of your business, cause like no one else was saying anything. And I was like, okay, civil courage. If no one else stands up, I have to. And then he yelled in my face and he called me insane and crazy. And I was like... And he called me gestört. And I was like, I'm not the one yelling at the children on the train. Yeah. But, then I reported him to the train, like... conductors, train security, and then a year later I saw him in my hometown, and he was like driving like one what do you call it? Gabelstapler. He was driving a forklift. I just saw him driving past my house in a forklift and I was like, no, does he work here? Does he work near here? Oh my god. Yeah. What was he yelling about? Oh, he was yelling at them for wearing masks. He was yelling at them for wearing masks in the train. This was like the peak pandemic, so like it was law. It was required by law that you had to wear them. And like, if you have a problem with it, that is your business. That is your business. But like, don't yell at the children. They're not the ones making the laws. They're not the ones deciding to do that. You know, like, whatever qualms you have with it, don't take it out on children. So he stole a forklift? No, I think he just works near there. Yeah, I know, thank you, Setsanito. Civil courage equals wings powers. Well, I wouldn't do it nowadays. I wouldn't do it nowadays. I think nowadays if I tried to stand up for anyone in public, I would just get stabbed. So, yeah, no. Not anymore. Not anymore. Yeah. Yeah. It was, it was weird. Forklifts are not road legal. Oh! Oh, in that case. I mean, I'm not surprised with that guy. I'm not surprised. Someone who yells at children on a train over effectively nothing. I am not surprised that they also drive a forklift on the road. Nah. I mean, back then you really didn't have that much of a choice. Well, I could have just stayed quiet and like tried not to look at him, but I felt bad because he was yelling at the children, so I thought telling him off was a good idea. Yeah, hence why I think they stole the forklift. That would be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, but... Yeah. Yeah, it was... It's just weird. I don't think it was like that when I was younger. Maybe I was just too young to remember. Like, you know how your childhood is also always nicer because you didn't have to worry about anything then. Also, welcome Matrony, guten Tag! Tachchen. Galikui. Galikui. I know. I know, it's always funny when Amari and I meet each other. We're like, yeah, goda, I galikui. And to non-German speakers, it must sound so weird. Because sometimes it's like we just see each other and we like simultaneously I good. Wait, how young were you back then? It must have been in like either 2021 or 2022. How many years ago is that? That's like 3 to 4 years ago. So I must have been like around 17? Around 17 or 16? Yeah. Ne. Yeah, I think around 17 is probably right. Yeah. でもね。やばいんくるうち。ね。but yeah, there's so many strange characters in the world, really. Oh god. There was one thing where I got kind of mad just listening from a stranger's conversation on the train. It was like I got on the train, I had gone to get donuts. 17 on the trains, well, I had to get to school somehow, right? Because I live in a tiny little dorf, so we don't have like a school for like, you know, we don't have like anything beyond primary school in this little town, in this little like, well, it's not even a town, it's like a village basically, you know. And so I always had to drive the train to a different town to go to school ever since I was 10 years old. What about ID giving you a ride? I can't give myself a ride, I can't drive. No, No, yeah, I had to ride the train every single day for school ever since I was 10. But now this next story, this happened only like last year or maybe even this year. I think this year actually. But I was on the train after having gotten donuts. Sorry, I meant to say Arimama. Arimama would not drive me. Arimama would not drive me. I was like, Mama, I'm gonna be late for an exam. Please, 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 please. And she was like, no, take the train. And I was like, okay. Okay. Demo, yeah, and I was on the train and there was like a woman. And at first I didn't think it was a woman. At first I thought it was like a teenager, right? Like a teenage girl. Cause she looked kind of youthful and she had like rebellious kind of clothes. And red hair, like red, really bright hair. So I thought it was like a rebellious teen. And she was on the phone while eating Burger King. Or wait, sorry, we're not sponsored by Burger King. She was eating Burger Bing. And she was like talking on the phone to someone who I assumed was like a friend. I know. And she was like, yeah, oh my gosh, I hate my parents. My parents are so awful. And like, they don't even like me. And like, I'm probably the fault where they're divorcing, huh? And I was like, okay, yeah, that's just a rebellious teen. Yeah, that's just a rebellious teen. I know. And then, at one point, she goes like, and yeah, they're like getting on my case for still like living with them. And I'm like, what? I'm only like 26 years old. What do you mean? And I'm like, oh. That is not a teen. Which, you know, living with your parents at that age, that is fine. Housing costs are very expensive. But the way she was talking and acting, she did not seem like a mature adult. And then she goes like, yeah, and like they're complaining cuz like I'm just going out to party every night. And like, oh my god, why are they complaining? Like, it's my life. I can go out to party every day if I want. And like, yeah, I mean like, they're taking care of my child anyway. Like, they're taking care of my baby. So like, why can't I go out to party? And I was like, what? Like, I was fully listening at that point. I turned off my music on my headphones. And I was like, huh? She had a baby. She had a baby that her parents were taking care of while she was just going out to party every day. And then she continued. Yeah, I don't want to get a job. Like, keep like hassling me to get a job, but like I don't even need to get a job. I just sit here in the city and like stupid people give me money. Stupid people think I'm poor and they give me money, and then I just buy food from that. Like, I'm eating Burger King right now, and I was like, wow. Wow. No matter how bad of a person I am, I will never be that horrible of a person. How can people like that exist? She's not taking care of her child. She's hassling her poor parents about it. And she doesn't want to work, so she's begging for money and then making fun of the people that give her the money because they think that she is poor and needs help. And she was like, she kept going. She was like, yeah, and you just sit there for a couple of hours and like people will think you're poor and like starving and give you money. And I was like, wow, that's wow. And she's like, yeah, I know my spots where to sit. Like, I sit outside of DM, which that's like a drugstore, like in Germany. Yeah, I sit outside of there, and like people walk past me and they give me money. And I was like, wow, wow, wow. That is, such horrible people apparently exist. Which, that is awful. That is awful, awful, awful. Because why would you be taking, like, money away from people that work and like taking government resources, no less. Like, if she doesn't work, she's entitled to government resources. Which, like, money is already relatively tight when it comes to what money the government can give, right? So, like, for people like that who just don't want to work, who will never pay taxes just because they don't wanna. And just to fund people like that, old people in Germany are poor. Nah. I've never seen an old German person begging on the street. When I see old German people who are poor, they're just looking for bottles, like recyclable bottles, so they can like get the money for recycling them. Like, you know, even old people in Germany who don't have enough money to live, which after a full life of work, which after like 50 years of work, it's crazy that they're not getting enough pension money to live. And like, they have to collect bottles and sell them. But people like that, they just get to live for free. Ah. Yeah. It's quite sad. Quite sad about our current state of society. Because we could have so many nice things. We could have so many supports for, like, less fortunate people. Or people who really, really need it. But then people like that take advantage of it, and there's less to go around for people who actually need it. Yeah. Yeah. Ah. That's kind of, why... Okay, now this is not a political opinion. I wanna state that. It's just a general societal opinion. But I'm kind of in favor of reintroducing mandatory military service. Not necessarily because I'm like particularly invested in the military, but because instead of going to the military, people could choose to like go help elderly people. Like, they could choose to help elderly people, or they could choose to take care of children for rather than going to the military. Block me, please, will do. No need to thank me. Demo. Yeah, you know, these kinds of places, they're desperately in need of help. Like, if you look at retirement homes, they desperately need help. Because they can't find enough people to help them. And when we had mandatory military service, at least there was people who could help with that, and they weren't quite as severely understaffed, right? So I think just for that state, cause the mandatory military conscription would have to be universal. Yes. Yes, I fully agree with that. Yeah, cause like, even if you don't want to go to the military, you can go to retirement home instead. And I don't think that should be limited by gender. Like, you know, anyone can go to a retirement home, or go to like a nursery, or go to a kindergarten. A lot of places that need help. Yeah. And I don't really think it helps everyone. Anyone, really? If people like who don't want to do military service, but instead they do like, you know, service for retirement homes or for like kindergartens. Yeah. I think it's just it would build character. Now, after graduating from high school, I did want to do that for a year. I told my mama, hey mama, I'm not sure what I want to study yet, so before going to study, I want to take a year off, do like, you know, well, in Germany we call it freiwilliges soziales Jahr, which is just a year of like helping with those things. My mama said, no, you're not. My mama said, no, you're not. My mama said, no daughter of mine is doing that. You just want to be lazy. You just want to be lazy. Either you sign up for university immediately, or I am throwing away all your stuff. And I was like, alright, if you put it that way. Oh no, ne. Ne. Ito. But yeah. It's her thinking you'd be lazy is hilariously rich coming from her. Well guys, she's not lazy. She spends 3 hours at the gym every day with the membership that I pay for. Don't worry guys, she's not lazy. She's getting her summer body. Yeah. Ne. Ito ne. Ma with experience. Wait, Mama lives with Heidi, not the other way around. That does not stop her from threatening to destroy my stuff when she's mad at me. Yeah, that is. She kind of found that that's the only credible threat that she has against me. So whenever she wants to threaten me, she's like, "I will throw away your PC. I'll trash your PC when you're not here." And I'm like, "Okay, well, if you put it that way." Yeah. I can see your mama talking like that person on the train. Except instead of complaining about her parents, it's about ordering her child ordering her around. Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. That's not even a credible threat though, cause that'd be a crime. Well, yes, it would be a crime, but I wouldn't have the heart to call the police on my own mother. I could never do that. Like, anything short of physically harming me, I would never pursue any legal actions. So, you know, even if it's illegal, it's not really. Nothing is illegal as long as the other person doesn't pursue legal action. I mean, throwing away your monitor would be a favor. Hey! Hey! I love my monitor. Oh, my monitor. Oh, yeah. Oh, well. It's a little bit hard. It's a little bit hard. Ito. But it's okay. I know. I don't think it's abuse. I think it's just... You know, not everyone's parents are perfect. But she still does love me. Adi, what's going on with your throne nowadays? Well, I put one thing on it and I was like, oh, maybe someone will find it. Just put it on there for funnies. And then it immediately got bought. I got a My Melody Pop Mart figure out of it. It's very nice. It's standing next to my toothbrush now. Yeah. Good job using PC as a decoy. If she went for the Jesus statue, then you'd be in real danger. Well, it's not. It's a crucifix. It's a crucifix. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Crucifix. Yeah. I wanted to help, but I was too slow. 大丈夫 Ma. Yeah. My monitor is pretty old, but he's fine. He's okay. I think threatening to destroy your stuff is pretty inarguably abuse. Well, she just doesn't have another way to get me to do stuff. I just don't listen to her. Yeah. But yeah. It's just, didn't you break a piece? Well, I accidentally... the fingers broke off. It's like a crucifix, like it's Jesus nailed to the crucifix. But then I dropped it one day and then some of Jesus' fingers broke up. And I tried to find them, but it was dark and I couldn't find them. Yo. Nene. Monitor-kun is fine! He's fine! Leave him alone! Ma. But yeah. Honestly, it's just, I wish people would take care of public areas and public services more. Cause it's very much a privilege. It's very much a privilege that we have them. For example, one time the train in my area wasn't working for like a week. So they enabled a special bus station, right? And I would have to take the bus at the bus station like every morning at 7 a.m. Right? Every morning at 7 a.m. And so every morning at 7 a.m. when I was waiting for my bus at the bus, we hired by the train company to clean the bus station. They were there every single morning and cleaned up everything. And then when I came home in the afternoon at like 2 p.m. So like not even like 10 hours later, like most of all like 5 hours later, the entire bus station would be full of trash. Full of trash. And there was like 3 perfectly good trash cans right there. The trash was not in those trash cans, and the trash cans were not full either. And like that area just got cleaned 5 hours ago. How did they manage to make it that dirty in 5 hours? It's incredible. That is incredible. Yeah. I know. Very bad. Very, very bad. People are lazy. They literally threw down the trash right next to the trash can. A lot of the times there was so much trash right next to the trash can, and the trash cans weren't full. So it must be to some point deliberate. It must be to some point deliberate. Yeah. It's just we could have such nice public areas if everyone was just not unconscionable. You know? Like, if people just did not actively go out of their way to make things dirty, things could look so nice. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just, after I went to Japan and it was so clean there, it felt so gnarly to get back to Germany where everything was dirty. It felt so bad. Like you could just sit on the train and be completely calm and feel completely nice and safe, even if it was like 12 a.m. Germany, no, it's a different world. Yeah. But oh well, that is just my personal complaint. I don't think things will change anytime soon, unfortunately. This is my complaining stream. I don't even know how I got to this topic. Yeah, it sucks being Eurotrash. Wait, you're only allowed to say that if you're European. Are you European? Glad that ain't me. Hey, stop that, you're not allowed to say it, Only Europeans are allowed to say that. Hey, Mom. Only us Europeans are allowed to call ourselves Eurotrash. Mom. Question, if you had the opportunity to live in Japan, would you take it? Probably not. Mainly because I don't think I'd even move to another city, just because I want to be close to my grandma. Yeah, because if I don't visit my grandma's not gonna get daily visits, and what is my grandma gonna do without daily visits? Cause you know my aunt and uncle, they come by like maybe like once every 3 months. My mama comes by to my grandma's house like maybe once a week. I'm the only one who visits her daily. Yeah. Norway part of EU. But it's still European. It's still in Europe, the continent. Ma. Do I still count as European? Yeah, you count as European. You count as European. You're part of the continent. Yeah. But yeah. I think Japan, probably from what I've heard, is a nice place to visit, but not so nice a place to work in. So I'm not sure about that. Yeah. Demo, oh god. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very sorry for the abruptness. However, I've got 1 day and 23 hours left to finish my paper that I have not started. So I was hoping to get some paper writing time in. For that reason, I will keep the stream short today. Yeah. Hi. Thank you so much for coming by and listening to me complain for an hour about everything. 23 hours more than necessary. I'm not so sure. It's gonna end up being pretty close. Addie's tired and has a ton of things to do. Yup, unfortunately. I'll see you tomorrow for my stream. My streaming stream. Addie said it. Baba. Ciao! And tomorrow I will report to you about omurice the quality. Bye bye! I just got your sorry time, too late!